Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for watching our First Alert weather live stream. This is First Alert Chief Meteorologist Steve Balon. You know, what a great stretch of weather we've been in recently, getting a little reprieve from winter. Nice to see the warm weather. A lot of you folks are happy to see some of that melting snow. And for the most part, I've been on board, happy with that. But all that melting snow has unearthed something in my yard that I didn't want to see. Vole damage. Do you have that? Do you look at your yard and see these streaks? Tunnels from little tiny rodents who are chomping on the grass. Yes, I've got vole damage in my backyard. So I have something to take care of as we head into spring. Not much I can do to reverse time, but yes, there is definitely some people out there who are dealing with that as the melting snow sometimes brings some surprises. Let's take you out to a live view. This is from our Shawano Sky Cam. We're at the freezing mark, 32 degrees. Notice the northeast wind. That is a key component in today's forecast. That'll bring our temperatures down just a touch. Feels like 27. We have some sun, but you can also see that kind of haziness. There's some thin fog that's still trying to hang on, especially by the bay and the lakeshore, but it's not thick at all. Visibility around Sturgeon Bay, 2 miles, 3-mile visibility in Green Bay, Manitowoc, and Sheboygan. So yeah, some thin fog, but it's not a big issue at all. That said, there have been some reports of some slick spots, especially in northern Door County this morning, partially because of some of that very thin freezing fog. It's 36 degrees in Sturgeon Bay, but I suspect in some of the inland portions of the peninsula, there might be some colder temperatures early this morning. So don't be surprised if there's a stray slick spot out there somewhere. Otherwise, 36 in Wapaka and in Appleton. And with an east to northeast breeze today, it is not going to be as warm as yesterday. I know you're thinking, oh, come on, can't we have 50s again? Well, some of you might make it up to 50 in central Wisconsin, but otherwise it's not going to be as warm. Still above average, though. So, you know, we have to look at the big picture here. A high of 46. That'll be around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Sunshine giving way to increasing clouds. And then tonight, well, we get rain. We get some icy mixed precipitation developing in the north. Yes, you guessed it. It's our next weather maker. So tonight into tomorrow morning, a cold rain comes down in the Fox Valley. And that icy freezing rain and snow across the north. And this is tonight into early Wednesday. So we have issued a first alert weather day for tonight into Wednesday morning. Our severe weather outlook across the North Woods tonight is in the moderate category. That freezing rain and wet snow is going to create some slippery travel. If you're traveling overnight, but especially tomorrow morning's drive into work, allow for more travel time. Elsewhere, the risk of severe weather is very low, especially in the Fox Valley and over towards the lakeshore, where tonight's precipitation is just rain. Maybe somebody hears thunder, but we're not expecting any severe storms. The National Weather Service is issuing a winter weather advisory as of 6 o'clock this evening, and that lasts until noon tomorrow for the blue shaded counties along and north of Highway 64. That includes Langley County, the northern half of Oconto County, Forest, Florence, the northern half of Marinette County, into Menominee County, Michigan. Areas to the south, not under any alerts from the National Weather Service. Low pressure is swirling in the northern Rockies and producing quite a bit of some snow. This upper level storm system is going to buckle the jet stream, push that front across South Dakota and Iowa towards us, and we will find rain developing tonight, and it should be cold enough in the north where it's perhaps freezing rain or snow. So there's First Alert Pinpoint Predictor, and you can see that band of milky cloud cover from Shawano County and east. You know what that is? Well, that's the computer model trying to resolve the fog. Is the fog that thick? No, it is not. Pinpoint Predictor is overdoing it with the fog. Computer models are not perfect. We use them to guide us in the right direction with the forecast, but they should always be taken with a grain of salt. And this is one of those situations. Yes, that fog is very thin in about that location. It's not going to be thick at all, so I'm not too worried about that. Sunshine fades away, increasing clouds, so it looks like it's mostly cloudy this afternoon. And we're dry up through about the evening drive time home. But after that, here's 7 o'clock this evening. You can see the rain across eastern Wisconsin. That's in the green. So it's coming down to the Fox Valley over towards the lakeshore. Meanwhile, in the north, especially near that winter weather advisory, the pink, well, that's probably some freezing rain and some snow. And the snow is really going to hug the far north, up towards Highway 8, up towards Pembine, Niagara, Iron Mountain. And around 2 a.m., as this weather maker comes through with just enough instability in the atmosphere, we might have a couple claps of thunder. So if you're laying in bed tonight and you're half awake and you hear something and was that thunder? Yeah, it very well could be. Don't worry, we're not looking for any severe thunderstorms, but just so you know, there's a chance of hearing a rumble or two of thunder. Now, that icy precipitation with snow in the north continues into early Wednesday morning. So if you're watching us across northern Wisconsin, into the Wednesday morning drive, you want to plan ahead. It's probably going to be slow and slippery and slushy, all those S adjectives. And then it ends. And I think we get a break in the precipitation with some sun trying to emerge Wednesday midday, Wednesday early afternoon, although later Wednesday and in the evening, there might be a few more rain and snow showers that pop up across the area. So in the Fox Valley, First Alert Pinpoint Predictor says we could see anywhere from a tenth to half an inch of rain. Precipitation heavier in the north, where we're going to see more frozen precipitation. We might have a belt of some light freezing rain, Wausau over towards Crivets, that area of pink where up to a tenth of an inch of ice accretion is a possibility. And farther to the north, you're looking at the possibility of 3, 4, maybe locally 5 inches of wet, sticky packing snow. And those totals will probably get higher when you get into upper Michigan, where I think some folks are going under a winter storm warning. All right, so there's your First Alert Super 7-day forecast. Today, 46, increasing clouds, a brisk east wind. Tonight, tomorrow morning, First Alert weather day. We get the rain in the valley and towards the lakeshore, in the north woods, freezing rain mixed with snow. And tomorrow, I suspect we're going to have a wide range of temperatures. We're probably going to have highs in the 30s in the north woods. Farther south, probably some low 50s in the Fox Valley as that warmer air tries to elbow its way back in. I have a high of 49, but again, tomorrow we could have a wide range of high temperatures. And then it turns colder again. 45 on Thursday, relatively quiet during the day, but at night, rain and snow northwest of the Fox Valley, and that continues into Friday as the moisture swirls around this lumbering low pressure system. Friday is also probably going to turn out to be a windy day at times. Here's a look at 2 different computer models trying to resolve how much snow we're going to get, especially Friday and kind of wrapping up Friday night, and maybe a little bit left over Saturday morning in the north. It looks more rainy in the valley over towards the lakeshore, a little bit of wet snow mixed in at the end, but there may be a handful of inches of snow north and west. The American GFS model says 3, 4, 5 inches. The European model not quite as bullish, 1, 2, maybe 3 inches. So, you know, there's some fine details that we need to kind of figure out between now and then, but I do like the fact that the computer models are starting to have a little bit more agreement on how this is going to set up. A couple days ago, there was a wide range of snowfall totals. I remember meteorologist Nolan Kane, who had stepped in here briefly, he had showed over this past weekend what these 2 models looked like. And one computer model was putting out some crazy amounts of snow while the other one was barely touching it. And sometimes it just takes, you know, a few days for the computer models to really kind of figure out what's going on with the atmosphere. It also helps when this low pressure system is over land as opposed to being out over water in the Pacific. When it's out over land, you know, we can throw weather balloons up at it and get more refined data as opposed to just relying on computer algorithms. And so that's definitely a helpful thing this far in advance. And otherwise, your First Alert Super 7-day forecast shows there's a cooling trend. Once we get beyond that 49 tomorrow, we're looking at highs dropping back to 45 on Thursday, 30s for Friday and Saturday, and upper 20s early next week. So the weekend, early next week, looks a bit more seasonable, although it probably will feel a bit colder with a bit of a blustery west wind. All right, so yes, there's changes on the horizon as winter starts to ope its way back into our forecast. And don't forget, you want to keep on top of that with your family. So use our free WBAY First Alert weather app. All right, I did mention Nolan Kane just a few minutes ago. He is going to be giving you forecast updates on Action 2 News at noon and at 4. And once we get into Action 2 News at 4, we'll be kicking off our First Alert Weather Day coverage, which is for tonight and into tomorrow morning. And Aisha Morales just stepped back into the Weather Center. She gives a little wave because she's very busy. She is writing stories and getting prepared for Action 2 News mid-morning, starting at 9 o'clock, so that is about 10 to 15 minutes from now. All right, there you have it. That is your First Alert weather update for today. Thanks for watching. Letty, what do you say we get you out to a live shot? Let's take it from Manitowoc. I think that's a nice looking shot there. You can see some of that very thin fog or haze downtown, but otherwise we're enjoying some sunshine. And it's going to be a wet night in Manitowoc and a bit breezy as well. But up to the north, away from Manitowoc, across the North Woods, like maybe Marinette and North, it's probably going to be freezing rain mixing in with some wet snow. We'll talk more about that as the day wears on. So stay tuned for more First Alert weather updates. Have a great day. Happy Tuesday. We'll catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.